bitches.
Chairsies.
Mom Code Podcast, Episode 8, Life Before Baby, Newborn Trenches, Take 1 with Anna and Jessica.
Okay, cool.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to chat about life before baby, what our lives were before being moms, also life before baby, small business-wise.
Mhm.
Thank you for popping back in.
Yes.
We were talking about lives, so the P's are in my brains. We were talking about pairings, pop. I don't know.
Pop-up parties, popping
Pop-up
in,
parties.
everything.
So just the P's are in my head. Our small business brains are always working.
That's called the hustle.
If you guys are new here, I'm Jessica, and the gal
And-
in the pretty glasses with the pretty face is Anna. I look like a bumpkin today because I just traveled back from Arizona, so.
I missed you.
Yeah, I know, it's been too long. It's been too long. But each week we talk about momming and small business life. MomCo stands for Makers, Owners, Mothers. So if you're interested in any of that or relate to any of that, you're in the right place. Each week we start off with mom wins and daddy delights. So Anna, this week, what's your mom win?
Gosh, I think my mom win and my dad delight. I bundle these a lot. My husband went back to work. I kind of went back to work too, part-time. Luckily, I'm in a position where I work for myself full-time, so I'm able to just adjust accordingly. So we've been starting new routine, trying to get established. First few days were really hard, but now it's becoming a lot more natural. And it's only the first
Okay.
week. It's only the first week, but it's been kind of fun. My mom win was being able to come up to my office and bring baby with me, put her in pack and play, have her take a nap, and I got to actually work on things that made me happy and do things that gave me some autonomy. That was my mommy win.
That's
That's
a good one.
also, I'm just gonna bundle the dad delight in there too, that he has been a trooper going back to work. I know it's been kind of hard on him and stressful, but he's just been great getting back into the swing of things, still helping, still remembering that, hey, I need to help too. I can't just work and then check out.
And that can be a challenge too, because it's like two parts of a brain. So when you can actually kind of figure out and click it, there is that hurdle there. Sometimes it's a bigger hurdle, sometimes it's a little bump.
I texted you this week and I'm just like, I want to rip my hair out. That's
Been there.
Yeah, everybody's been there.
But once you start getting back into that old routine and mixing up the new routine, like you said, the autonomy comes back, and it's just so you feel a little bit of you again.
It was just nice to be able to say, you know what, we're just going to do this and this, and then we're going to go up and you're going to take a nap, and it's not going to be on mom today, and that's okay. And then he usually is taking over in the afternoon. This is like the dad delight, is he takes over in the afternoon, so I'm able to come up and work by myself without her because she's distracting, but we're getting there. So those are my mommy wins and my daddy delights. What about you?
I love it. Well, my mommy win is coming back from Arizona. I took Dana Marie and myself, along with my side of the family. We went to Arizona to visit my aunt and my uncle, and that was my first flight without David. So I was obviously nervous about having her dad, my person, our safe place with us at all times. But it turned out fabulous. And it was actually nice navigating the airport, figuring it out by yourself with a baby. I wasn't completely alone. I obviously had my sisters, so shout out to them, because I don't know how I would get a car seat and a stroller, a diaper bag, carry on a personal item with me through the airport by myself.
Yeah.
Because it can get a lot. If you're listening to this wanting to do a trip, just do it. Keep your life moving, keep it going. The baby comes with you naturally. You are not a burden to society. Because I was even researching, I was like, oh, I should bring goodie bags. Sorry if my baby cries. Don't do it. Your baby is allowed to be there as much as the next person. You've paid for your seat.
Yep.
You can have your baby there. It's a public space. You have just as much right. And as long as you're trying, most people, that's the thing, is I always thought people would be screaming and angry that I had the baby. Most people want to help you as much as possible. They love your baby, especially if they're smiling, giggling. If they're crying and you're just trying, they understand. So that's my biggest advice is just do it. Continue your life. You don't need to stop living. You don't need to stop traveling. Just do the dang thing. So I'm proud of myself for just doing the dang thing, following through, and actually enjoying myself. You can enjoy yourself on vacation with a kid. It's a little different. It's not the same.
No.
But just seeing the joy through your child's eyes on a trip, honestly, the best high on this earth.
I love it. That's awesome.
I'm proud of myself. And then going into my daddy delight, mine's not bundled in beautifully like yours, but
Yeah.
I would say my daddy delight is recognizing a week ago, David asked, do you like when I cook? Do you actually enjoy my cooking? And at first I thought it was the stupidest question. I'm like, duh. But then I sat with it more and I was like, not everybody gets a husband that can cook, and he's been learning and growing as he goes. He's actually started cooking even more now that we had a kid. I just appreciate him doing that because it's like one less thing I have to think about, one less thing I have to stress about. And I so appreciate him just wanting to cook, wanting to better himself, wanting to learn more. So that's my daddy delight. So Anna, what is our nobody told me mom topic this week?
Life before baby. How much your life changes when that baby gets here and just how different it's been.
It is. And seeing that we're both first time moms too, I think that's kind of impactful because I would say that's a bigger change. Because talking to my cousin who's on baby number 3, she's like, once you have them all. But when you go from none to one, that is a big mental shift.
And also just the experience of knowing what you're doing, going from 1 to
Hmm.
2, okay, this is newborn life. This worked with this one, and there's this option too, or if I know that this is a growth spurt that's happening right now. I know this is what to expect. I think I could see going 1 to 2, how easy, not easy, but how that could be easier.
Yes.
But
Yes.
with
Still set of challenges, obviously, because it's another human. But anything's hard once you add more to it. Anything is hard.
yes, yes, 100%. But going from 0 to 1. And, like, for us, it's been hard because we've
Hmm.
been married for 8.5 years now, and we just
Hmm.
had our first baby. So we were very much in this couple routine where, we could just basically drop of a hat, go to Hawaii, go to Las Vegas, go to San Diego, go to these places. Even going to the store. You
Yes.
can't hop in the car and go to the
And
store
go.
all together. You can't just like, "Oh, hey, you know what? I don't wanna cook tonight. Let's go out to dinner." "I don't wanna cook tonight. Let's go out to dinner." "Okay, well, I gotta pump, we gotta bring milk, we gotta bring the stroller, we gotta do" yeah, it's
It's
very
more
different.
of an ordeal, like any routine. Once you get into it, it does form naturally.
Yeah, it does.
You do kind of mourn those simpler times as well, because
We do.
it's I think it's natural to miss
Yeah,
those 2. Like tonight, Michael's picking up my Costco order from Instacart. Would I love to just go out and just venture to Costco and just stroll around with my husband and spend all day there? Yes. Will we go past my daughter's bedtime routine? Also, yes. Is she also recovering from the trip? Yes.
it's
So,
exhausting too.
yeah.
Y
So that's like a change in itself.
yeah, it's not simple. It's not just, "Let's just go, jump in the car and go." You can't and I say you can't do that. I guess you can. It's just different.
Yeah, it's a different mindset. For me, when I had the postpartum depression too, I think a lot of that was reflecting on what I was able to do in the past versus now. And I'm a dweller. So if one thing spirals, it's kind of a domino effect for me.
Same.
And learning to break that domino effect and say, yes, these can crash and fall, but look at this new beautiful board game you have that is just as much fun, different set of challenges, different set of rules, and enhances your life in a different way from the
Yeah.
domino game.
Well, and it's hard to for me personally, like, if one thing or, like, 2 things go wrong, it's hard to not let that affect the whole day or the whole trip or the whole outing or whatever.
I look back and I'm like, oh, my biggest challenges were like work and my small businesses. Those were my main focuses now. So it's weird kind of like dividing your brain to make that now a child. So now your focuses have like completely not changed, but they've shifted a little and your pie chart just got a new category. Before baby, I was like,
Mhm.
oh my God, my life was so easy in a way. But like just
In a
looking at
way,
it from small business, I'm like, "Oh my god, I chose when I could have time to paint or chose what shows I wanted
yeah,
to do." And that was a lot of my
yeah,
decisions, not like group effort decisions. Obviously, in your marriage, yes, you can talk with your husband like, "I did this and this and this," but it's now priorities have shifted and more communication. And I would say Dave and I were pretty good communicators before having a baby, but a tiny human makes you emphasize that communication. And I still think we struggle every day. Baby, communication was a lot simpler. We are the Bickersons. I will fully say we are not perfect. We're not like, oh, I love you, passion, affection. Oh my gosh. Sometimes we're like, what the fuck did you say this? I don't know what the fuck did you say that? You hurt my feelings. No, you hurt my feelings. And we like that's our communication style. We do bicker, but we get it out. We do communicate at the end of the day. But now sometimes it's more emphasized of like, I feel hurt that you did this. And like now, like in front of the baby, we need to be more mindful and all that stuff. It's just being more aware. I wasn't totally aware before. And now adding another human life into it, it's a different song and dance now. So it's just kind of doing like a cha cha every day of like, how are we navigating?
there's times too where it's just like you're so tired you don't wanna communicate
Yes, or
too.
you're
Like,
tired
you're just
of
like, I
communicating
don't
and you feel like you're over communicating. Sometimes I'm like, I just don't wanna fully explain my thought.
yeah, it is, and also, like, you forget or, like, there's something that you were wanting to tell them, but you're just too tired to tell them, so you're like, "Oh, I'll tell them later," and then you
You
completely forget, and then
forget.
they're like, "You never told me that," and it's like, "My bad."
Assuming happens a lot too,
Yes.
is what I would
There's a
say.
lot of assumptions made too. I think a lot of it too is so it's like that central theme that we've had with a lot of episodes of just communicating with your person, and it sounds really simple, but it's not. Like, trying to be respectful and thorough communicator, but also, like, staying sane.
Staying sane and also, why the fuck do I have to tell you 8 times? I wish you would get it the first time. Also a struggle. I would say in a way my patience has grown, but also short at the same time. I don't know if
Yes.
that I was like in a constant state of limbo. That's what I've noticed. I was like,
I know,
that
right?
that P word is very triggering.
It is, and I get what you're saying. It's like I have more patience with some things, and then I have, like, way less and
Yes!
no patience for other things.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And you're like, "This doesn't make any sense. This
And I would
does not
say I'd
make
give
any
a
sense."
lot more grace too in some areas and not as much grace in other areas. Cause the
100%.
water cooler talk at work, like, there's some people I just absolutely don't relate to. Like, I have one person, like, complaining about they got their feelings hurt at a rave last weekend, and I'm like, "Girl, like, my child had, a fever last weekend. She was constipated. I don't care that your feelings were hurt at a rave. Don't go to that rave." These are, like,
Yeah, it's that's pretty
and it's
simple.
not like to compare, like, her feelings are valid, and that's fine, and it's the phase of life she's in, but I'm like,
Sure, sure, it's just hard to
it's just
relate.
different strokes for different folks. I'm like, I don't have the patience to listen to this story.
My favorite was when we were getting ready to have the baby, we were getting ready to have Lily, and Casey's company was doing a retreat, and they were all going to Portugal for a week. They went to Portugal, like, 2 or 3 days before we had Lily, and they were gone for a long time, and Casey's like, "I'm not gonna go," and his boss is like, "No, you are not gonna go. I'm not gonna let you go." But one of his colleagues, who obviously was single guy, right? No children. Yeah. They were leaving on Saturday, and this was like the Thursday before. And the guy was like, "Well, hey, if your wife has the baby on Friday, you could like catch a flight and come out to Portugal on Saturday, right?" Casey's like, "No, bro.
I would have walked in. I'd be like, "Listen here, Chad. Are you coming to the hospital with him?"
Listen here, motherfucker. That ain't happening."
Some people are crazy.
But it changes everything. We're sitting here like, talking about the negative. But don't you feel this insane sense of fulfillment when they look at you that certain way? I get up with her in the morning and I look into her crib and she looks up at me and starts smiling and I'm just like, this is why.
1000%. Her smile alone gets me every freaking time, and, it is hard to
Your
remember
baby's not
life.
my baby and it gets me.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine life before her. I'm like, "What did we do every day?" Again, we did so much
Yeah,
because we had so many choices and so much freedom, but I'm like, I love being home at 5 p.m. on a Tuesday,
yeah,
watching Miss Rachel and cooking dinner
yeah.
and hanging out with my
Cuddling,
husband. Yeah, and
the
cuddling with my
cuddles.
baby, getting ready for bath time, moving the dog around because he's just always in the way. It's one of my
That's my
favorite
cat, man.
chapters, and I look at her knowing I'm like, "I'm going to miss this." Like, people constantly remind me
Mhm.
in public when they're, like, ooh and ah over, they're like, "My kids are, like, 27 and 23, and it happens so fast, cherish every moment." And I think the perspective I've had having Danny, and I'm oldest of, like, 3 girls. I nannied for 8 years, and I do fully immerse myself and allow myself to enjoy these moments. Again, it's hard, and it's sometimes
Yeah.
hard to separate, but when you can, take those deep baby sniffs, take a couple pictures, soak in those cuddles.
No, it goes by fast. I was just thinking about it too because I'm like, Lily rolled for the first time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"No,
Yeah,
no, you're right on target. You're a little early, but no."
yeah, it's crazy because when you showed me that video of Lily, I was like, "Dang, you did that 2 weeks? Oh, no, 4 months ago. Yep, 5 months ago, I think now. Shit."
Yeah. It happens fast, and yeah, you had a lot more freedom before baby, but there's just this new sense of fulfillment
Mhm.
and this new sense of purpose, and it's so weird. They always tell you like, "Oh, you'll feel this when you have kids and stuff." Till I had her though, I
Yeah.
get it. I get it now, but I can also understand how people that don't have children don't understand it, you know? And that's okay. It's just different people.
different strokes for different folks. If
Yeah,
you feel confident in that, props to you for recognizing that because I think it takes a strong person to say, I don't want children. I also respect the person's like, I don't know too, because I'm like, I don't know either. And
you
I'm
don't know
glad
their
I did.
situation.
Some people do say, I regret it because I wish I had like more time, or some people say, I wish I did it in a different like lifetime or like different partner. And I will say, choosing your partner is a big deal. If you already are struggling with
Yes.
communication with that person, I've had friends tell me they think baby will fix the relationship, or, oh, I just want a baby. I can do it by myself. You can, and you can do all those things. Personally, being in the trenches is one of the most physically and mentally taxing things you'll ever do to have a baby. Well, that's our life before baby. Should we talk about life before? Is it life before baby with our business?
Life before baby with the business, it's kind of we touched on this a little bit before. It was a lot easier. You could just do like I could just do what I wanted, when I wanted, how I wanted. I could take on as many shows as I wanted. I could meet with people as much as I wanted to get my stuff, my product in their shops. It's kind of like you were talking about with travel. It just takes more communication, more organization, and more preparation too. And it just it's just an adjustment. That's what I've
Yeah.
experienced. Having her in my office though while trying to work has been a really big adjustment because you're constantly having to like
Stop.
check in and if she stirs and if she's napping and she wakes up or if she and you're constant it just takes more patience. You're gonna move slower. You're gonna need to have more patience. But it's just an adjustment like everything else. I
Mhm.
think that's really how it is.
Mhm.
That's been my experience so far.
Yeah. If I can describe small business before a baby, production. I was producing, I was turning and
Yes.
burning. I was at like the height of end all be all. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel the momentum. I can keep going. I can keep doing this. When I had a baby, it's just like, pause, pivot, strategize, move this way, move left, move right, dodge a bullet,
It's
dodge a
almost
bottle.
jarring.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's almost jarring how drastic the shift is.
you have to again prioritize, and I'm a big list maker, you're a big list maker. I sit down and breastfeed and start writing. I'm like, okay, this is my small business to do. This is my work life to do. This is my baby to do. This is my house to do. Like that's four categories. And also add a fifth one of like filling your mental health cup and your personal life cup. So that business one
That's
did
so hard.
take a sacrifice. I would say just now, as we're getting back into the season of shows and fairs and things like that, I am starting to find my groove again. It was freaking hard in the months between January and March up until our first craft fair of the year this year. But I think I prepped myself before having my baby to at least set up for success. I think you did too, of
Yeah,
shows. So when we were gone or we had shows after the baby, they were a little bit easier. But once you kind of go through that preparation, like you run out of like, this is what I prepared up to, it is a whole new level and experience. So when I had Danny, we were in the height of the fall shows. So I did all the fall shows. And I honestly couldn't tell you, like, it's just such a blur. Before baby, I was like, "Oh, I have to paint roughly 11 pieces a night to keep up with the demand for each show." I'm lucky if I paint 11 pieces a week now.
yeah,
That's not the case anymore. So, having to shift and prioritize is probably the biggest hassle because I wouldn't have to prioritize much. It used to be come home from work, make dinner, hang out with my husband, go downstairs and paint. Now
yeah.
it's
It was a lot simpler.
It's so much simpler. And now what we do is I try to paint at least twice a week and I triple that amount. And yes, I do have to sacrifice some sleep. Those are just sacrifices I have to make for my small business to keep going. But
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is it's like we're sitting here talking about how hard it is and how we have lack of freedom and we have lack of this and everything, but it is still so fulfilling. Having a baby and having a child is just like it's so great. And it's like, yeah, I'm not as productive as I used to be. I'm not getting what I want to get done. It's just the way it is right now. And
yeah.
but you know what? You told me something and it really sticks with me. It's all just temporary and enjoy it.
Yeah. Gosh, I say good things that I forget sometimes too.
You say great things. You You have said some really wonderful things to me, especially postpartum, that I'm just like the whole like put her in her crib early, get her used to her room. Now she sleeps through the night. She loves her room. and the whole, like, "It's all just temporary, it's all just a phase, it'll be okay." Like, I'm just like,
Yeah. That's the thing.
you're great."
Everything it's how you have the perspective. Like, yes, it is difficult if you make it difficult, but it can also be a new fun challenge. Like, yes, I have a baby and a small business. How am I going to use that? How am I going to prioritize that? And now thinking about it, I bring my baby with me to the markets. We made her CMO. She is chief marketing officer now.
Dude,
That girl
she's
brings
yeah,
in the business for me now. And I am so,
yeah,
I honestly, I probably wouldn't have half conversations I have now at shows and fairs because now I've unlocked a new category of consumers of relating to these moms.
same.
Because 'Cause I'm not telling you to have a baby so your business is successful, by the way, that's just how it is enhanced
It's a
my life.
benefit. It's just
It's
a
one of the
benefit
many
that we've
benefits.
discovered. Yeah, because we had that I had that happen too when Lily was there for the small time that she was, and we had the same kind of thing where people would kind of like they're more inclined to talk to you. They're more inclined to linger. They're
Mhm,
more inclined to they don't just come in, look at your stuff, and then leave. It's more like, "Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
mhm.
How old is she? What's her name?" That kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's a conversation starter. I think that that's a really, really good point that you brought. Yeah.
And you'll notice this too, just speaking on the business level, like when you go to shows, there's some people that just like hide behind their booths, don't talk to you. And it's not very comfortable. I'm more of the shopper, like I like talking to the person, like, oh my gosh, how'd you make this piece? Oh my gosh, like this is
Yeah.
adorable. And I like interacting with them. And I
I
do
love
believe
this.
sales do come, I guess, a benefit from just talking and being relatable. And you can know the moment too. Like some people do want to be left alone. Some people want that chat.
Yes.
It's just kind of feeling it out. Some days I have better days, others communication wise and being more personable than others. But I say having that baby kind of breaks down that extra layer of being relatable, if that makes sense. So it's just kind of opening up more doors in a way of talking to that buyer. If that makes sense.
I
That's
agree.
kind of what I've noticed.
No, no, no. I totally agree. I think that it's kind of weird how having a baby can actually benefit your business in that aspect too.
Yeah.
And I
Again,
think it's cool too if they get into it, leaving a legacy almost to for them, right?
yeah.
Like you started this whole thing. If they're interested in it, they can start when they're young and they can take it over eventually. But then it's like only if you want to. But
Yeah,
if you
and
choose not to, that's okay.
I like showing because I was raised mainly by like my dad, and I've never understood like gender differences. My dad didn't raise me like that. He's like, if you want to do it, you do it. And I think this
Yeah.
kind of just shows my daughter too. Like, if you want to do it, you do it. No matter if you're a boy or a girl, you just have to be a good person and have a drive in life. Like, I think having the small business and this passion project, like of this small business of mine, because I do call my small business my passion project. This is what drives me. This is
Yeah.
what brings me joy. And just
Yeah. How's it
showing
not?
yeah, just showing her that her mom can be happy whether she makes $2 or millions of dollars. Like she just has something that she has goals for just outside of like the regular 9 to 5 or just outside of the house too. I want my daughter to
Yeah.
know there's more to this world than just one thing or two things. You could have many things that bring you joy. So
You can do
that's kind of what I
anything and you
want.
can do
You can do
everything. You can try
anything.
everything.
You can literally do anything, everything all at once.
Yep. And then you go crazy like us. The other day, I was having a hard day and I was telling my husband, I'm like, I can't be, I'm trying to be full-time mom, run a business, run a household, be a wife,
Mhm.
uh, do a podcast, do all of these things. And it is so hard right now. And I just am having a bad day. And it was like, once I communicated that though, it was like, click. Yeah, 100%.
I had the exact same mine is a meltdown to my husband. I'm like, "I can't be everything everywhere all at once." He's like, "I don't think all the things you think of all the time, and I would like to take that off
Yeah.
of you, but I can't if you don't let me in." And I'm that person
Yeah.
who thrives off of doing it all because I love to do that. That's my love language is just doing everything for everybody. But again, that was before baby. Now, after baby, I have to learn to prioritize, like, what's the most important? And it used to be go to work, eat, small business. There's, like, so many new layers,
It just, everything
and
just shifts. It
I'm
all just
happy to
shifts.
have those layers, but sometimes it's really challenging navigating those layers, and sometimes you just need, like, a friend, Anna, to just bounce, like, ideas off or just challenges off and say, "Hey, girl, I had a hard day. Did you ever feel this way?" And it's so nice to know
I
you're
do
not
that to you
alone.
all the time. I do that to you all the time. It was like you were in Arizona and I, like, texted you something,
You
I was
wrote a
like, "Did you
list.
ever have this?" And you're like, he didn't feel that way, but I felt that way, and I'm just like,
Yes.
"Okay." The great thing though, you said that. I felt validated. I was able
Mhm.
to pause, reflect, and go, "Okay."
Have you noticed you do a lot more reflecting now? I've never really
Yeah,
sat and reflected. I used to sit and like sulk and be like, "This situation was terrible." But now I don't do it in
yeah.
a negative manner. I'm like, "Yes, that was a hard situation. How can I better
But
myself for
I
it?"
did this, and
Yeah. But
what did I
sometimes you
learn
just
from
need
it?
a
And then it happens
bitch.
again.
Sometimes you
Sometimes
need a
you just need to
bitch.
bitch.
And
Sometimes
that
you need to
was
bitch. Sometimes you just need to go, "Did this happen? Did you feel this way? Is this normal?" And you just need someone
mhm.
to be like, "Yep, that's okay.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
can feel
Mhm.
that way."
And
And yeah, I really don't know.
I'd say
It's what it is.
before baby too, I'd bitch a lot more and sulk rather than reflect. But you can still do
Yeah,
all 3 after baby. I just say it just
you
changes a little
can.
bit more because 'cause you're like, "How can I better myself so this doesn't repeat again?" And if you're doing that
Yeah,
before
how can I
baby
better myself for my kid?
if you're doing that before baby, you've discovered the ultimate key to life, honestly. I
You
think
really have,
if
yeah.
you have the power to reflect and positively learn, I'm still learning that every day.
It's like a how can I better myself for my kid now? How can I better myself
Yes.
and learn and teach her how to do this rather than
Mhm.
just, they're gonna have their days where they just sulk. They're gonna have their days where they just get,
Mhm.
pissed off or whatever. And I get that. But yeah, now it's like this whole other thing where it's like, how can I better myself for my child? That's one of the biggest things before baby. It's always like, oh yeah, I guess I'll better myself for my husband and myself,
Yeah.
whatever. But then you have a baby and it completely changes and it completely shifts into this whole like once again, I have purpose, I have meaning. I have to constantly better myself for my kid. Whether
Yes.
that's I handle a situation differently than I usually would in a more adult way, or it's I seek help on things I'm struggling with and teach her that it's okay to get help, it's okay to receive help, it's
Yes.
okay to also give help to other people when they're down too.
Yes.
It's totally different. It's totally
It's
different.
I agree. Just to be an example too is a big deal. And
Yeah.
I think a good
You're a role
example for
model now.
who made David and I role models?
Me
I guess David and I did.
I don't know how I feel about that. Do you really want me as a role model? You're stuck with me. Sorry. Hope it
Yeah,
works out.
that's a new thought there. But going back to it too, like the power of choice, like I think before we had Dana, David was like, "Oh, I'm okay, happy with my job. I could go out and do something." But having that child made him have to think, like, outside, like, "I want to provide more for my family. I want her to have all these things that I did as a child." And that was having to kind of, like, grow into a new position, new role, go into a new job. I don't think before baby he would have even thought he had the confidence to go to a new job or anything like that. And I don't think I'd have the confidence to continue pushing myself in my small business too, or pushing myself at my work to grow in my role, or say, I need to pivot this way. I need to figure out if I'm not going to every show, how can I pivot in a way where I can grow and expand still? And having that child brings that whole like, oh my God, how can I better not only myself and my husband's life, but how can I enhance my family unit's life? Is like a whole different like level unlocked brain explosion
Yep,
type deal.
yep. I
It's
mean, and then
crazy.
we're kinda even going through that right now because we're discussing the potential of, we have a family cabin, and Casey is like, "I don't go up there. I don't have time. I've got this and I've got that." And
Mm-hmm.
even his grandpa was like, "Maybe you should think about selling, and if you can sell, then you can do X, Y, and Z." And before we had baby, I don't think Casey would have ever even considered selling, and now it's like, maybe I should because
Mm-hmm.
if we do, A, B, and C would fall into place so much easier, and it would take the pressure off of this, and it would create this for her, and we
Yeah.
could have the freedom to do all of these other things for her, and it just changes everything.
Yeah.
And just, like, all of a sudden, the things that you usually wouldn't even think about and consider, it's like, well,
It's now an option on
maybe
the
we need to do
table.
that.
Yeah.
It's now an option on the table. Yep. Yep,
It's
yep, yep.
crazy how just a little life can just change literally your whole world. It sounds corny and cheesy, but your perspective does change, your priorities do shift, and it's how you
Completely.
adapt and
Everything.
move with them is like a whole new layer of navigation itself. Like it's not
Yeah.
easy. It is not easy. And the fact that things get put on the table that are a conversation topic, things get shifted, priorities change, that in its way, like you've accomplished so much already. And that's, like,
Yeah.
mind-blowing. Like, life before a baby was just, like, not easier walking in the park, it was a different set of challenges, but life with a baby not only enhances your life, gives you new sets of challenges, but I think it gives you, like, determination to keep just going, just
Yes.
keep moving
Just to
forward. Because
keep
now
going,
it's not just, like,
bettering
the next yeah,
yourself.
next goal, next, like, money move, next power move, it's, like, next move to create that legacy like you talked about, like, how can we keep it going so our child is not only successful as we're raising her, but as an adult? Like, you think about those
Yeah.
thoughts now too, you're like, "Holy fudge nuggets."
Like, what do I need to instill in her that's going to teach her to be a good, kind individual and a productive member of society?
Yeah. Do you have any, like, tools and tips for people for navigating their small business now when having a child?
Patience. That's the only thing I can say. Patience.
We've
And
talked
and
about
and
these.
if you do not if you have a plan laid out and you're like, "I'm gonna get this, and this done." If you don't get all that done, do not feel guilty.
Allow
Do
yourself
not
grace.
feel bad and do not feel guilty because I am the queen of overdoing the to-do list, overthinking, like, "I'm gonna be able to get all this shit done." No, you're not gonna get it all done. It's just not gonna fucking happen, and that's okay.
Yep.
That's all I can
Yeah.
say. That's my biggest tip, is it's like, if you didn't get it all
Patience.
done, it's okay. You can if you don't get anything done, it's okay. You took care of your baby. That's the prior and it's just back to what we've been talking about, how priorities shift.
I would say patience is one. Allow yourself grace is another. Again, like you said,
Yes. Yes.
if you don't get that done, you still are enough. You're not failing at your business. You're not failing at your job. You're not failing at being a mom. You're not failing at being a wife. Because you'll have those days where it's just that domino effect, like we talked about. And you just feel like if you're failing in one category, you feel like you're failing in it all. It's literally all or nothing. I don't know about you, Anna,
Yes.
but that's what it feels like to me some days.
110%.
So my biggest
110%.
advice as
Literally.
soon as soon as you feel that way, just stop. Stop for, like, an hour. Stop what you're doing,
Yeah.
change the
Yeah.
routine. If it's go pick up your baby, go pick up your baby. Is it if it's to put down your baby, put down your baby and go do something else.
Yep.
The priorities that shift, it's not an easy shift. I think that's why it's called shift and not like a
Yep.
sachet or a dance. It's a shift. Things shift. The earth shifts and it's a big deal. It's an earthquake. Honestly, my biggest tip too is I think to get me through when I'm not painting was just research. If I can't paint right now, maybe I can do a little bit of research here and there of like my next show, do some note taking. Like
When I can physically see and physically check off something, it
same.
gives me motivation to do another small thing, right? And you could put on there too, little baby, done that. Because then I just have that fulfillment of, I did that today. I
Yep.
did that. And that's great.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I think list making, I don't know about other people. You can email us or comment us if you're not a list maker, maybe ideas you suggest if you've been in this situation. But like you
Yeah.
said, Anna,
Because
I
we're the
think
same.
writing a list was actually so helpful because if you have like 18 lists when you have a baby just to keep that baby
Yeah.
moving and grooving, and then adding your small business into it, it's really hard as well. So I have a calendar on my fridge where it's like sectioned off of like this is the priority in the house. This is a priority for the baby. This is a priority for Jess. This is a priority for David. When you can see it all clearly, like at least in your home and what you need to do, it is honestly a stress relief for me. And then I invested in like those calendar apps so David and I can have things on the calendars at the same time. Patience, a calendar, and a good list. That's
Yep.
what you really need to
Those are great
survive.
tips. Those are the best tips. Yep. I think
And
that's
just
good.
know
That's very good.
you got to give yourself some grace.
Yep. Yep. 100%.
Oh yeah. I think we did really well this episode minus the technical difficulties. Well, thank you all for
Yay.
listening to another episode. If you're here at episode 8, thank you. We love you. And we
Love
appreciate
it.
you. If you have any questions, comments, cool tips, or just want to reach out to us, feel free to email us at
Ideas.
momcopodcast@gmail.com. Yes, ideas.
Yes.
We get lonely here on the internet as well, so feel free to follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcasts. Also on Facebook and Instagram. We love when we see new friends pop up in there. And follow us, give us likes,
Thank you guys for
subscribe,
being here.
leave us a review. Yeah, thank you for being here. We appreciate you all. And we hope you have a fabulous week. And we'll be back, I think, with a beef and debrief next week. It's
Yeah.
already a new month.